Hello and welcome to Formula Phil. Alright guys, how we doing? Really short video today, just on the distinction between Formula 1 and World Championship races. Some of you eagle-eared listeners, or viewers I suppose, heard me say on the Tom Price video that he had won Formula 1 race, but then say he had led a Formula 1 Grand Prix for 2 laps. Now which is it? Well, it's both, and I'm going to tell you why. Currently, the terms Formula 1 race and World Championship race are effectively the same thing. Since 1984, every Formula 1 race has counted towards the World Championship. But that wasn't always the case. The very first Formula 1 race was actually held in 1947, but the World Drivers' Championship didn't actually start till 1950. In the 50s and the 1960s, there was Formula 1 races that did not count for World Championship. For example, in 1950, a total of 21 Formula 1 races were held, but only 6 counted towards the World Championship. The number of non-championship Formula 1 events decreased throughout the 70s and the 80s, to the point where the last non-championship Formula 1 race was the 1983 Race of Champions, which fittingly was won by reigning world champion Keke Rosberg. The World Championship was originally established as the World Championship of Drivers. It didn't actually have the term Formula 1 in it. Only officially became the FIA Formula 1 World Championship in 1981. And from 1950 to 1960, the Indianapolis 500 race counted towards the World Championship. This race was actually run not to Formula 1 regulations. It was run on USAC, or American regulations, which is now IndyCar. But oddly enough, even though the Indianapolis 500 counted towards the World Drivers' Championship, not many European drivers went over to America to race, with perhaps the exception of Alberto Ascari, who started racing there in 1952. Alright, why does this matter, I hear you ask? Well, the distinction is most relevant when considering career summaries or all-time lists. For instance, in the case of Tom Price, he won the Race of Champions in a Formula 1 car, surrounded by Formula 1 drivers, to actual Formula 1 regulations. But he is not credited to winning a Formula 1 World Championship Grand Prix. Another example is Clement Biondetti. He is shown to only have one single Formula 1 race, but in fact, he competed in 4 Formula 1 races in 1950, but only one of these counted towards the World Championship. So like the video where we did how many drivers were killed in a Formula 1 race, the stats can be misleading because there's a kind of an overlap between World Championship Grand Prix and Formula 1 races. So I hope that clears that up, and it also makes you aware of comparing stats of different drivers, especially across different eras, can be very misleading. But that's probably for another video. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and if you didn't, good luck.